good news for you. This time we can comment more than one sections at a time because we have developed so far quite many methods that can already be used for these sections. Okay, so I claim that we can simply uncomment from 17 up to 21. Okay, if you uncomment that, you will see that everything still compiles because all the methods we have talked about in the previous section. Now I just want to briefly just make sure they really all generate the right output. Okay, so now 17 to 21. Okay, let's do that very quickly. If I execute the code, you will see that for 17, you can see all the results should be true. Okay, 17, all the results should be true. And for 18, it's actually January 11th, and then June 16, June 16 over there. And for 19, it should be 0. And for 20, it should be the only reminder we should do is 1, and that's for A. And then for 21, the number of reminders for June 16 will be 2, and that will be for B and C. Okay, everything just worked. It's not just it's not magic. It's simply because we have developed quite nicely from the previous developments. Okay, so now we can just use it. So now what I want to do is, so there's no implementation for us to do for this stage, but all we got to do is convert these cases into the JUnits. I think we should do that for the sake of automating all the tests for future uses. Okay, what I will do is I'll copy 17 to 21. I'm going to combine them into a single test case. Okay, let's see how we can do that. Okay, let's do that now. Test. So now let's say public, and then we can say void test 17, and then we're going to paste everything here. Okay, so now let's just make sure we got all the variables over there. So now we got BD of A. So let's see where BD of A. I believe it's just birthday. Okay, so now we can simply birthday. Okay, let's just put a birthday here and put a birthday here. And also we gotta make sure we got BB. So BB is a birthday, initially just empty. And remember, we actually added, if you just see that, the context over here, up to now, right before 17, we added 3 entries over there, right? So we got to make sure we do that. Okay, so now let's go back to the test over here. So we're going to add the 3 entries. Okay, so basically this is what we want to do. Okay, we want to have the birthday here. Okay, that's how we set up. So we got all the 3 entries here. And then, so first of all, we're going to assert true to make sure all the 3 names are there already. Assert true and assert true. And we're going to have bb.nameExists and also bb.nameExists, and then C also exists. So that's for 17. Okay, what about for 18? For 18 over there, we're going to simply, you know, for your clarity, I would say that's 17. And this is for 18. Okay. So now we want to make sure, let's say, what about A, B, and C? So for 18 there, okay, that's kind of what we expect, right? So A, B, and C. Okay. So now let's say assert true. Assert equals actually. So we're gonna put down the string value in just a moment. And over here, so we say that some string value over here, comma, and then some string value over here, and comma, and then we have some string value over here, and then comma. Okay, the first one, according to the expected output, should be January 11th. And the other 2 simply just June 16th. June 16th. June 16th. Double check. June 16th. Okay, good. So now just make sure you spell correctly assert equals and then assert equals. Okay, that's for 18. What about for 19? So now we're going to return reminder to return some reminder list. Remember, reminder list is just a string array. Okay, so now we want to first make sure that assert equals that, okay, let's say 19 over there. So we are trying to remind somebody who doesn't exist, right? So that'll be somebody who were not born, a birthday that nobody was born on that particular day, January 16th. In that case, we're going to get 0. Okay, so this one should be just 0. Okay, let's see what number 20 would do. Okay, to remind, and then we got January 11th. So we do have one person there. So now in this case, we will have assert equals, and now this case should be 1. And then that should be just A. A should be the 1. And assert equals, and the name to be reminded will be just A. You can see the to remind is actually an array that catches the return value. Okay, I should really type this correctly. You can see that to remind is actually the return value from bb.getReminders, right? So now what we should do is we should simply just carry the length of the array. In this case, just be 1. And who's that value? In that case, we just go to the first index of the array. Okay. Now 21 would be in a similar, would be asserted in a similar manner. So 21 over here. So now we can do assert equals. Okay. Assert equals. Assert equals. Assert equals. Okay, now we can say, now in this case, June 16th. In that case, the expected output should be 2, okay, for 21, and B and C. 2 over here, and that should be B and C. Okay, so now we are done the combined version of 17 to 21. So now, okay, let me rename the test to be a little bit better. 17 to 21. Okay. So now if you run the test, you can see that yes, it passed. So but that one, because okay, here's the thing. If you move your mouse just within a particular test method and run JUnit test, it's only going to run that particular method, but we want to run everything. So move it outside. Okay. So now if you run it, it runs all the 18 tests that we have so far, and everything just passed.